very simple. Here we need to target about decision trees. The goal is to create a model that will predict the target variable. So whether here the decision trees are tree-like structures. Suppose a data set has been given to you. Out of that, you have some 10 columns or 20 columns. Every column represents your attribute, and one of the column is your classification label that you're very familiar about. So based on the classified data, see these decision trees are useful in both the ways. The decision tree algorithms are useful in classification algorithms, classification problems, as well in the regression problems. But most widely used in classified. One second, let me admit that. See, here we are writing the inference rules with the help of if-then statements, if-then possible rules, so that for every possible rule, the outcome is decided. So if it satisfies the if-then rule, we're going to predict the outcome of the label. See, out of some 10 columns or 20 columns, can I say here it's attributes? See, out of attributes, n number of attributes, so you have to construct the decision tree in such a way that for getting the optimal solution for a particular problem. See, constructing the decision tree doesn't happen in a single attempt. So what you have to do is tree in the sense you have to recursively apply the rules until unless you get a single node, which is the base node. See, first of all, you have to identify the root node in constructing the decision tree. And here there are two measures in decision trees, especially. The two measures are entropy and info gain. So entropy is nothing but the noise or the discrepancy in the data. It's very familiar to you. See, the less the noise, the best the outcome is. So that our job is to select a particular attribute that will be the best attribute in terms of info gain. See, you need to select the root node based on n number of attributes. See, while you started growing the tree, the number of, I think the size of the data set reduces. One second. The data set size reduces once you start growing the tree. First job is out of your n number of attributes, you need to select the one attribute which has the highest info gain, information gain, highest info gain. And at the same time, it has very less entropy. Even I can say that the entropy of the root node is always zero. Means very less noise. Only then it will get the highest info gain. It's all about the probability and statistics. Probably, I think the probability of the entropy is zero. I think it ranges from 0 to 1. The entropy value ranges from 0 to 1. Even your info gain value ranges from 0 to 1. See, the one second, students are getting admitted. And and it is used in widely used in supervised learning methods. So before let me go with this is one kind such a tree. So based on the data set, I'll show you the data set later. So here the weather outlook is, see, out of that the nodes represents your attributes, whereas your leaf nodes represents your classified data. You could see that no and yes and all. This will represent your classified labels. The branches will represent, so the branches will represent your if-then rules. If-then rules. So here, see, how come the Outlook became the root node is, I think the Outlook has the highest info gain, which doesn't have any error. I mean, which is having the entropy 0. So one thing you are clear right now is entropy is, I mean, inversely proportional to the info gain. Now, how could you represent this tree in terms of rules, decision rules? See, it's all about the overall tree is nothing but it's disjunction of the conditions in every path. So here every path which I will just take only the optimal path. You see optimal path is the path where you will end up with a positive solution, that is called S. You see outlook, if I consider overcast in my first attempt itself, I'll go with S. This is my one of the optimal solution. The next one, if the outlook is sunny, then I have to consider one more attribute, that is called humidity also, because the sun is dependent on humidity also. So that if the humidity is normal, so then I will play the badminton, that is called S. Then the next case is if the outlook is rainy, the rainy is dependent on one more attribute called wind. So which is if it is weak, if the wind is weak only, I can play the badminton, you know that. If it is very strong, I cannot enjoy my sport. So this is play tennis. Uh, See, I just see every path which will take me to the optimal solution here from outlook, sunny, humidity, normal, and then S. So this is the path. This path can be in terms of conjunction. So every path can be represented in if-then rules in terms of conjunction symbol. Overall tree, suppose I have three conjunctions here. This is one path, and in between outlook is overcast, S is one more path, and then outlook rainy, then wind weak is S. This is one path. So each and every path can be disjuncted with the symbol like this, right? So what is my first thing? Leftmost path, outlook is equal to sunny. See, outlook is equal to sunny. At the same time, it is disjuncted with one more attribute. What is, because the sunny is dependent on one more also. Outlook has to be sunny. At the same time, the humidity has to be normal. Only then I can enjoy my play tennis game. So that this is one path is represented with the help of conjunction. You see that the one path is represented the conjunction. Outlook is equal to sunny, humidity is equal to normal. In terms of conjunction, I have represented it. So overall tree can be represented with a disjunction of if-then rules. See, what is my next path is, which is disjuncted with one more branch. What is that? Outlook is equal to overcast, and then which is disjuncted with one more. Here, I think it's a conjunction of two. Outlook is equal to rain. At the same time, wind should be weak. Is that clear till now? So it's all about the representation. I'm just explaining the representation of decision tree. Don't worry, they will not ask you how to write the decision rules. It's all required in coding part. Fine. Any doubts till now?
No, ma'am.
Fine. So, as I told you that this is both useful in classification and regression algorithm. This is one kind of such a classification one. You could see that which is classified here. I have taken one more example. Earlier it was outlook, now this is weather. Could be anything. Out of this, so this is a data set. So the last attribute play is there now. So this is your target concept. So one more easy way I can tell you, instead of going for complete calculation, you can easily fix your this thing. What is that? Directly classified one. You could see that out of this data set, if you look into which has, you need to find the info gain of each and every attribute initially. You have the probabilistic formulas for that. I'll just cover in the next class. Weather, temperature, humidity, wind, and then all these four attributes, we have to find what you have to find is info gain. So before that, I will try to tell you one thing, how to find the entropy values. Entropy means I can easily find out the attribute which has entropy 0, which has the highest info gain. So entropy 0 means when do you get entropy 0, when do you get entropy 1, and when do you get entropy in between 0 and 1. I have to pick an attribute that will best fit for a root node of a decision tree. Here, for example, weather. You don't know how the weather has come. I'll tell you. I had to pick the one which has the very less entropy, very less error. Entropy E means error, noise. You could see that what and all, it depends on the values of the particular attribute to fix your error. Suppose if any one of its value is completely classified in the first attempt itself to a particular label. It means all the values has the same classified data. Suppose here I have sunny. You could see that what is the value of the weather? You have three values: sunny, cloudy, and then rainy. Three different values that a particular attribute possesses. Three different values that the weather possesses here. Out of this, I can say that a particular one which has completely classified with a particular label. Sunny is classified with no. Here you see no. And the same Sunny is classified with S. I think this has some misclassification. And then one more Sunny with no. I think the classified label is not equal. All the time it is not equal. One time it is no, one time it is S. Just go to cloudy then. Cloudy, if you see here it is S, the next cloudy S, the next cloudy S. Right? So now you have seen something that one of its value, what is that? For weather. What is that? Weather. For a weather attribute, one of its value is completely classified with S. So that if the weather is, suppose if the weather is a particular root node, if its value is cloudy, you could see this value, if it is also S, classified with S, even in this case, fourth sample, all the values of cloud is classified with S. So that undoubtedly, if the weather is cloudy, I am going to play the tennis. So that what I wanted to tell you is, if any one of the value of a particular attribute is completely classified with a particular label, its entropy is zero. What does it mean? If its entropy is zero, it is the credit to the attribute called weather to become the highest info gain. I don't know, actually I didn't calculate it, but manually I'm telling you, this is the way you can predict easily your answers. But anyhow, initially you have to calculate the info gain of every attribute. There is a formula which I'll tell you in the next class. But before that, if any of its values are equally classified so that its entropy is zero, it is a credit to the weather to become the root node. So that I can easily write here, you see one of my path, you could see the figure, one of the path for weather, cloudy, which is having yes. Which is having yes. Any doubts till now?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So going to the next value, what is that after sunny, cloudy, rainy? So here in the fifth row, rainy is no. In the seventh row, rainy is yes. So there is some discrepancy here. So I just don't want to take it. Not equally classified. See, not fully classified. So what did I told you? The entropy value is zero when it is fully classified with a particular label. You can make a note. When the entropy value will be 1. So such node cannot be taken because that node will have the info gain very low, because your entropy and info gain are inversely proportional. First of all, I have to concentrate for a node which has the values that is fully classified with a particular label, that has entropy 0. So if it is having entropy 0, then it is a part of your decision tree. It will be a part of your decision tree with the higher priority. Okay. So it will make, because the weather attribute has the value called cloudy, which is fully classified with yes, so that it's a credit to weather to become the root node. Because I don't know actually temperature, humidity, wind and all, I didn't check actually. For, I'm just telling this is the way. Okay. So remaining or not. Suppose what if when equally classified with yes and no? Any example if you have equally classified with S and no. Suppose I have 4 values. In that 4 values, 2 are classified with S, 2 are classified with no. Equally classified. When a particular label is equally classified, then the entropy is 1. Equally classified means entropy is 1. Entropy is 1. So when the entropy is 0, yes, when the entropy of a particular value in an attribute is 0, I'm asking you people when the entropy will be 0.
Then we have a unique value for all its data. Like here, cloud is
Not
entropy
unique, same.
same. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, when all the values are same, then it has 0 entropy. So it has the higher probability of to become the root node. Its attribute. Then equally classified means 3s 3 no. When that time the entropy will be 1. When the equally classified means, I think I should not consider it right now, because when the entropy is 1, that node will not come to the part of your root node. Okay. So all these things we'll discuss it later. So let us look into a few more examples of how the decision trees can be constructed for Boolean functions. So decision trees can represent any Boolean function. I think you may get questions such kind of Boolean expressions to construct the decision trees in the exam, probably. Okay, so when you consider a Boolean function called AND, see, what did I told you? What are all the attributes here? See, attributes here are A and B. Either you may take attribute A as the root node or B as the root node. Here you no need to apply info gain, all those things for this examples for Boolean functions. Earlier we had a case like when I have two attributes which has the highest info gain, that I will take, right? So here it's a combination of data, so that it's a function that we are applying on A and B. This is the classified labels. Suppose if I consider A as the root node, what is AND? If the first attribute value is false, I no need to consider the second one. Whatever it is false only, right? So when the A value is false, because it is AND, it depends on the first value itself. If it is false, I no need to consider. You could see that the first two rows, when the A value is false, the resultant is false. Because whatever may be the second attribute value, the resultant of F with anything is false only. But if true, if the value of A is true, it depends on the second attribute to decide its outcome. If it is true, I have to consider the B value. The B value is true means the value is true. If it is false, the value is false. Because true, false is false, true, true is true. The same thing if I consider the, what is that? Attribute B. You can consider anything as the attribute, initial attribute. I think the next one is R function, Boolean R function. So for a Boolean R function, it also again, if the first attribute value is true, whatever may be the next value, at least one has to be true to decide the outcome is true. If it is false, I have to look at the second attribute value to decide the answer. So if it is true, one of the value is true in our function, undoubtedly the resultant value is true. Suppose if first one is false, second one is true. So FRT is T, false is false. I think they're very familiar, but you know how to construct the decision trees. And then XR with two variables. So what does the XR function will do? When both the values are same, the resultant is false. I mean, no correlation between the data, means two different values, ft and then tf, the answer is true. So this is the speciality about XR. Two different values, so you will get true. Same values, either false or true, you will get false. In that way, you have to continue. And here, I think it always depends on the second attribute, so that in the first attempt, you cannot decide anything. The first one is F in the sense, I have to consider the second one. The second one is also F correlated, like two same values, the resultant is false. False and then true, two different values, the resultant is true. The same way, TF, T, TT, F. Any doubts till now? So you may get uh, this such type of questions in exam. The same thing with three attributes they have done. All the three has to be same in the sense it will end up with, see here, three attributes. Suppose one goes with true, one more goes with false. What if when the two attributes are same? Look at the left side part. One is t, one more is t. By the time, what is the resultant? Same values. Same values in the sense false. So false with true, true. Same values, t and then f, t and then f. It is true, and then f, true and then f, true. Just do it two attributes, two same attributes, it is false, two different attribute values, it is true. So that is the XR functionality with three attributes. That is what I told you earlier, how could you decide that you have the highest info gain and the lower info gain. Suppose I have my samples in this way. You see that in this, how many are positive here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 positive, 2 negative. What about in this case? 7 negative, 2 positive. Can you tell me what is the value of entropy for such a kind of example? Entropy. When does the entropy is 0? When completely plus or completely minus. Fully classified with either plus or fully classified with either minus. The entropy is 1 when you get equally classified. For example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 samples are here. For example, you take 10 samples. Out of that, 5 plus, 5 minus. In this case, the entropy value is 1. That time you have very less info gain. So you could see that very less info gain in the right hand side box. I think it is almost equally classified. Don't about equally classified. I mean 5 plus 4 minus, just consider 5 plus 5 minus, 5 plus 5 minus, equally classified. When it is equally classified, both the samples, you have entropy 1. Entropy 1 in the sense 100% maximum. Then you have lowest info gain. Here it is almost fully classified with almost, not fully, almost fully classified with 1, especially. Here also, almost fully classified with negative. In this case, I think the entropy will be less, so that you have highest info gain. Same thing, I have written it over here. These points are very, very necessary for us to proceed further to solve a decision tree problem. So next class, I just discuss about, I'll provide you the data set. You be with a pen and paper. So you have to find out the entropy and info gain of each and every node. And the node which has the highest info gain will be the root node every time. So that when you start growing your decision tree, your data set size also reduces. Any doubts for today's class?
No, ma'am.
So in the next class, I'll give you the introduction about still better in a decision tree. As well, we continue with the data sets. Fine. 1 second.